Hey y'all, Natalie here with a layout for Shimmerz today, and I'm using the Missy Whidden September Color Kitz. And the colors in here are a Colorings Well Blew Me Down, a Shimmerz Pinko de Mayo, an Inklings First Blush, and an Inklings Good as Gold. We also have this awesome exclusive cut file by Paige Evans and 3 exclusive dots that match the collection. So what I've done here is I plan to make a fall layout. I'm going to color some paper to use with my die cut machine, and I'm gonna cut out some unusual color fall leaves. So I've gessoed this piece of white cardstock, and I'm just using all 3 of the colors from the kit to spread over different sections of this paper and use them to cut out my dies. So there I've used the Colorings Will Blew Me Down, and I put a lot on there and I let it be a very concentrated color. The way that dries is so great. I can't wait for you to see. So now I'm going to use the Pinko de Mayo and, excuse me, spread that across the paper. And this is a really great way to do some controlled mixed media. If mixed media still makes you a little bit nervous, if you're new to it, or if you just want maybe like a neater way to do it, you know, you can't mess this up. I'm just color blocking and putting the color on the paper. And then when I use my die cut machine to cut them out, you can really control what designs or colors you use in the die cut machine. And so you still get the mixed media look, but you don't have to smush or super paint. You know, you don't have to have any skill to like throw paint on some paper, really. This is the First Blush Inklings, and it's super pretty. It dries pretty light color, but it has this really gorgeous iridescent look. And I end up mixing a little bit of that with the Good as Gold, and it makes this gorgeous rose gold color that I'm probably going to play with later. And there you can see I'm kind of like smudging it into the Pinko de Mayo color because a little bit overlap, you know, it won't do anything. You'll see what I mean here when I cut out all of the leaves. And there is the Good as Gold Inklings. It dries a pretty bright gold color. I really love it. It stands out a lot. So, and you can see, I'll get up there in the left-hand corner where I'll end up mixing it with some of the blush color, and it turns like this rose gold. It's so pretty. Playing around, it's fun, and that's what's fun, especially when you're doing this technique. When you're going to die cut it, you can kind of play around and mix colors, and the final outcome is, you know, doesn't really matter that much because it'll look pretty no matter what. So there, it's all dried. I'm going to show you. There's the coloring, it has a little shimmer, but the others are super shimmery and shiny. Oh, so pretty. And it makes the paper, the gesso and all the paint made the paper really sturdy. So these little die cuts, and some of them are embossed and some of them are really intricately die cut out. It makes them really sturdy little die cut pieces that you can use. So here I have gessoed this background paper because I want to do some splatters. And so I have my cut file there, and I'm just going to show you where I plan to put the splatters. So first I start with the Well Blew Me Down, and I just kind of shake it onto the page and 4 different spots that I know will show around the cut file. And so I do dry all these with my heat tool before I move on to the next one. And the paper does roll up with the gesso, but I mean, I like that. It gives it more dimension and texture, but also when you put it in your page protector, that kind of cuts that out. So the Pinko de Mayo, I was wanting bigger splotches, so I kind of just like put them on there manually myself instead of more like a splatter effect. And then I also put the Good as Gold. I didn't do the blush just because it's such a light color. I don't think that they would have shown up on that background paper very much. It would have been more like an iridescent little like splatter. So they dry so beautifully. I really like how they dry. So now they're all dry, and you can see there they are, the splatters. And if I hadn't have gessoed that, they would have really blended into the background. I did use the Well Blew Me Down on another layout the other day, and you can hardly see it because I didn't put gesso. So I'm trying to flatten out my paper a little bit here. And I don't really do a lot of girly pages, and I felt like these colors were calling me to do a girly page. So, and the layout. So since I wanted to do a fall page, I covered up the main floral element on the ampersand with my photo, and then I'm gonna stick the leaves in. So you still do see the florals and the leaves, but it makes it more into a fall theme because it's September, so we're going all out. So I just backed the 3x3 photo with a few different pocket cards, cut them down, and I put it up on some foam to give it dimension. And now I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna tuck some leaves, and I'm gonna cut out some of this part because it just, all I'm doing is tucking leaves, y'all. I'm kind of, getting 3 or 4 colors different and then put them all over and tucking them into different places under the cut file. And that's about it. It's not very difficult to do. But I do recommend, if you do this technique, like tuck them all in, kind of see where you want them before you glue them down, because you want them evenly dispersed so that they look really, organic, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So now I'm going to work on my title before I glue any other things down. And the title is going to be Besties for the Restie. This is me and my best friend. And big things are happening for her right now. Things are exciting. And we took this picture together this past weekend at a party I had. Good times. And I'm going to just, for the middle part, I'm just going to use these tiny little alphas. I think these are actually, these are Pink Fresh Studio. And I just picked the colors that go with the colors that are in the other floral alphas. So this is Besties for the Restie. And I also pulled out this Kaiser Craft, I think it's called something garden. It's a lot of like succulents, and so I pulled that out because the colors went really well. So now I'm going to glue down the title first before I start working on finally sticking down all the leaves. So I did glue those all down with, the adhesive was good on the back of those, but it's gesso, so I added additional adhesive because you can't be too sure. And now I'm going to start tucking leaves. So you can see I really made sure to layer the different leaves upon one another. And I'm not going to show the entire thing. And I added a succulent there. The green color really went well with the background, the cut file, sorry. And then I also add the dots in there. Just kind of, they're really great to use as cluster elements. So with a die cut and with the leaves, and then I go in later and add little pearls and gems or sequins, add sequins. So all those elements together make a really interesting texturized cluster. So super fun. And I'm using this little new thing that I got in Belly Jelly, and I think I like it pretty well. It helps like pick up the jewels and set them down where you want them. Sometimes the sequins are upside down, so I needed to flip them, but I like it. It worked. And I promise I'm not going to make you watch all of the little jewels. I did those turquoise pearls and sequins in different embellishment clusters. So I didn't put them on all of them, but just kind of visualized where they would best look good around the photo. And they kind of mimic, I think, the splatters as well. I'm gonna there's an empty space up there in the right, so I'm gonna do this hanging ornament that has succulents, and so I do like a visual triangle. I have the succulent down there on the right, I put this up at the top, and then I end up putting another one over there on the bottom of our photo. And then I add a couple of butterflies, and I only glue down the middle so that the wings can be popped up a little bit for, again, more dimension. And I think we're almost done, y'all. Oh, it does a little dance, and here comes the final photos. So make sure you hop over. There's a few Missy kits left, and they're super fun to play with. If you want a little bit more traditional on the fall colors, there's also the September color kits. So check out the blog at Shimmerz, and thanks for watching. Bye.